Welcome back, everybody. Today we'll be discussing the Jordan 1 85 black and white. Specifically, we'll be discussing whether you should sell or hold the Jordan 1 85 black and white and why that is. To preface this, if you guys enjoy these types of videos regarding the market, reselling, and even info on how to acquire these limited products, be sure to subscribe and enable post notifications. This way, you're always 100% updated. Furthermore, for more urgent updates like shock drops, raffles, Sitelists, etc., follow my Twitter, KeithAdam10, and also personals for you. This way, you're always in the loop 24/7 whenever there's a restock, shock drop, such as the one today. For early information, before these drops actually occur, Endurance always has your back. In fact, Endurance actually posted this early information completely free on TikTok just for this drop. Feel free to follow for more sneaker info or restocks. For those who don't know, the Jordan 1 85 black and white released on February 15th. Today, retail was $200. In order to determine if the Jordan 1 85 will be a fruitful hold, we will cover whether they're expected to increase post-drop or even hypothetically decrease, along with how much specifically over specific periods of time, and finally, what type of margin are we looking at for these in terms of holding. Not the retail to resale initial margin, but rather the hold margin over X period of time. Basically, even if they do go up, are they going to be worth your time? And of course, there's no need to go over the estimated post-drop value like we usually do, since I'm making today's video after the drop, unlike usual, due to some time constraints, so I do apologize for that. As of me making this video, it is February 15th, 2023, the day of the drop. The average post-drop price for sizes 8 to 12 is currently $361. Evidently, these prices do leave room for good profit with a great margin, hence I told you guys to go full throttle on yesterday's video. However, as always, they will drop in value as shipments go out and pairs go into circulation. When it comes to these, I would expect the drop in value to be just about average at 10% like we usually see, nothing unusual here. Hence, with a 10% decrease, this could potentially leave the average price for sizes 8 to 12 at $325. Now that the average price ranges at those points in time are evident, let's discuss whether they're expected to increase from the post-shipment prices or even hypothetically continue to decrease. When it comes to these, the best comparisons we could of course make are for prior Jordan 1 85s. Regardless of what colorway you look at, you will see a similar pattern, and unfortunately, it's not a good one. All these tend to start out quite high, but rather than increasing, they actually continue decreasing until they eventually plateau. Given that these are also starting out so high in value, it would be very probable that they too will follow the same pattern as the other colorways. However, I should note that this colorway should carry more overall demand than the others, considering it has the iconic black swoosh with the white mid-panel color blocking. This color blocking specifically almost always has the highest demand for Jordan 1s. Furthermore, it's also the most universal pair, being just black and white. Now, is all that sufficient to offset the general pattern of these 85s that start off so high in value? I don't think it can completely, but I would say they'll do slightly better than those other models. So I still think that there's a strong possibility that they continue decreasing for a little bit rather than increasing, or at best, perhaps they will just plateau. Finally, regarding the hold margin on these, essentially, are they actually worth your time, even if they do end up increasing hypothetically? Well, given that I'm expecting these to potentially continue decreasing or just plateau in the short term, obviously, that would not lead to a positive short-term ROI. And even in the long term, I'm not sure how much potential these do have, considering the red pair has been out for a really long time and has hardly seen any progress. Again, though, I will say that this colorway in particular has a better chance of doing well long term compared to all the others. Hypothetically, if these were to return to 400 eventually, that would still only be a 10% ROI. Now, thinking super optimistically, if these were to ever hit an average of 450, that average would only be about 25%. So, both short-term and long-term, these don't look too promising. Therefore, I have rated these a 3 out of 10 hold, mostly due to the value of all 85s starting off so high initially and the performance of prior pairs not really showing much growth over long periods of time. I would have rated these even lower, but again, I do think that this colorway in particular should do better than the prior 85, so I'm going with a 3 out of 10 rather than a 2. Personally, I would hypothetically quick sell my pair, and I say hypothetically because I actually didn't cop today. Also, just a note in general for any item, if you do plan to hold these, first, you should never hold anything if you don't have sufficient capital to go for as many drops as possible at your full potential without holding back. If you do need money to go for all drops, try to sell these as soon as possible sell during this impulsivity effect before more do continue going in circulation. Let me know what you guys are doing with your pairs down in the comments below. Since this is a discussion at the end of the day, I can't predict the future. That's just my personal analysis based on the data that I've acknowledged. We've got a lot of brilliant minds watching the video right now, so I implore you to leave your notions down in the comments below. But anyway, that'll conclude it for today. You can feel free to leave a like if you enjoyed, or perhaps if you learned a thing or two, subscribe and enable post notifications. This way you stay 100% updated on all hyped releases. And of course, feel free to follow the Endurance TikTok for future sneaker information like I dropped today. You can also feel free to follow Endurance's Twitter for updates on restocks or key giveaways. And the same goes for Gargantua if you want to keep up with the progress or restocks. Feel free to check out the other links in the description too, such as kit proxies, where you can get fast, reliable residential proxies. And last but not least, of course, make sure to follow Keith Adam 10 and Personals for You. This way you guys stay updated on all urgent info like I was going over today. With that though, I'll see you guys later. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and of course, congrats if you copped.